What is up, YouTube? Shaquille Almarinas here, back with another video for you guys. Today is December 15th, and we just finished a thrilling overtime victory against the Mavericks, and so we're going to be talking about that game today. So let's go ahead and hop in. First, I would like to give a little shout out to Steph Curry and all the Warriors fans out there. Steph Curry recently broke the all-time three-point record that was held by Ray Allen, so definitely a huge congratulations to that. I mean, it's just so insane how quickly he broke the record and with how much less games than it took Ray Allen to actually hit that mark. And it's just so crazy to see. Steph Curry, you are the greatest three-point shooter of all time. It's literally not even close. And so I hope that you're able to expand on this game even further and just have a great season, but just not against the Lakers. All right, and now let's really hop in. All right, so the Lakers just beat the Mavericks 107-104 in overtime. And this game we just got to talk about because the Lakers won, but this was a really bad win. I mean, we had essentially all of our team there, right? We're just missing the players that have been out for the entire season, and Kendrick Nunn and Trevor Ariza. But Luka Doncic was not there, who is obviously the star player for the Mavericks. And we let Jalen Brunson drop 25 plus on our heads. And it's just, that's so embarrassing. Yes, we won this game. And if anybody saw it, it was on a crazy 3-point shot by Austin Reeves to win the game. But yeah, like I said, the Lakers had basically their whole squad there. So there really was no reason that this game should have gone to overtime. And I think what we see is that the Lakers really just play down to their competition. Had Luka Doncic been there, would the Lakers have lost? Maybe, but also who's to say that the Lakers wouldn't have played harder? Who's to say that Luka Doncic, wouldn't have either had a bad game, or maybe because he was back in the lineup, maybe there might have not been as much ball movement as there was today. We know that typically when superstars are out on their teams and they can't play in a game, usually the rest of their team picks it up and you see them give a lot more effort and intensity and have that increased ball movement without their superstar player, if you're a team other than the Lakers, apparently. And so that's why we see that they did end up, putting up a really good fight. But still, for the Lakers, you have to be somewhat kind of disappointed because we are supposed to be having a mentality of championship or bust this season. You can't be having championships when you're barely beating the Mavericks, who don't even have their star player, by 3 points in an overtime victory. So that's a little bit sad there. But we are improving again overall as a team. Like I said, this is the second quarter of the season now at this point. And so this is where we can really start to judge the Lakers. This is where we can go, okay, hey, I've seen enough of the Lakers. They actually have their star players together. The vast majority of their team is there. This is when they should really have all of their cylinders firing. And so this is going to be a really great time to judge them. Again, they've got a couple victories so far since the second quarter of the season has started. And we could see their defense, again, kind of pick it up. They're now in 11th. The last time I checked, they were in 11th spot for defensive efficiency in the league. But I know post-game they said that they were 9th after that game, so it's possible that they moved up. But they're still in the mid to late 20s in offensive efficiency, and they're still the third worst team in terms of turnovers. And we still saw them have a bunch of turnovers tonight. I think AD had like 6 or 7 turnovers himself. So these are things that they, again, still need to continue to clean up, right? If you take a look at the Warriors, who are, in my opinion, the best team in the NBA at this point, they actually commit more turnovers per game than the Lakers do. But because they're the best defensive team in the NBA and the 4th best offensive team in the NBA, it's really not that big of a deal for them because they're able to make it up in other ways. Not to mention how good of a free throw shooting team they are as well. And so for the Lakers, we can't just continue to have these self-defeating tendencies of just constantly turning over the ball and really just terrible plays. And so we saw them kind of pick it up towards the fourth quarter in terms of not making or not committing these really terrible and silly turnovers. They still come from time to time. Westbrook who's just the biggest enigma that I've ever seen on a basketball court, where you're just like, I don't know whether to think this guy is a Hall of Fame talent on one play, and then the next play I just feel like he needs to be on the bench. So we're still trying to work through that, and we need to continue to make sure that we have really good progress in terms of developing the rest of the team when LeBron is off of the floor, right? Because that's why we brought Westbrook here, is to make sure that when LeBron goes to the bench, now we have a legit ball handler who can, take over and run the offense and either keep the lead that we have or push the lead even further. And so far, it's been really inconsistent with that. I mean, we know that Westbrook is an inconsistent player anyway, so I guess not much can be said there, but still, nonetheless, it's something that the Lakers really need to work towards. Of course, we have to get AD being back to AD. I don't know what the heck is going on with him this season. I mean, less than 20% from the three-point line this season, which is definitely not anything that we've seen out of AD, at least in recent years. But something that's really encouraging out of AD is that we were actually able to see him really kind of step up his effort. And I think in the first half of this game, he definitely was taken out for the most part. They kept double teaming him. He was in foul trouble. And then he still ended up finding a way to finish off the game with 20 points and 12 rebounds. So he's still being able to make an impact on the floor. I don't know what the heck is going on with him this season, but I really hope that he's able to figure this out soon, because we desperately need AD if we're going to have a chance at actually winning the championship. I know Westbrook is here and he's inconsistent. There's not much we can really do about him though, because it's not like there's a lot of trades we can actually even go for. So it's really dependent upon AD being that person to really step up his game and perform like a top 5 player, like he really should be. Overall though, again, for the Lakers, this was a pretty good game. The big three of the Lakers dropped more than 60 points. They played a really solid defensive game. And then on top of that, it was just really awesome to see Austin Reeves, or I guess we're calling him AR-15 now because of Bron. AR-15, he had a really great game. He went, I think, 5 for 6 or 5 from 7 from the three-point line, including the game winner, which he got fouled on, by the way. So it's just really awesome to see him coming into his own light. An undrafted player. I've seen him play since the summer league, and he gives 100% defensive effort, which is really awesome to see. And he can shoot the three, which is exactly what the Lakers are needing. I think he needs to work on his athleticism a little bit, but outside of that, it's really awesome to see him perform this well in this game. I just hope that he can replicate these types of performances. But yeah, I want you guys to go into the comment section. Let me know if you think that this was a bad or a good win for the Lakers, or if we should just take anything that we can get at this point. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe as well. And we'll catch you in the next one. Peace.